If you've ever tried a restrictive diet, or you tried a meal plan with a lot of rules on it, or maybe you tried a diet like keto or intermittent fasting, whole foods, plant-based, a starch solution, and found yourself saying, I can't seem to lose weight because, I can't give up this, and the meal plan doesn't really allow for that. Or if you found yourself rebounding every few weeks because of these restrictive diets, well, in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how I ended that cycle. So my name is Nick Coleman. I am the founder of Fitness for Vegans, and I lost 75 pounds in 4 months, and I helped over 72 vegans lose 10 to 50 pounds in 90 days or less. So in this video, I'm going to show you how I figured this out, how I stopped following these restrictive diets, and how I help my clients stop following these restrictive diets too, so that they can lose weight actually eating the foods that they like. So back when I first started, I was 75 pounds overweight. A lot of you might not know that. I was 75 pounds overweight. It's about 235 pounds. I'm 5'7", just to give you an idea of what my situation was like. And I tried things like keto. I tried things like doing a lot of cardio. I'm talking like 6 days of cardio a week for about an hour or so. Sometimes I even did it in a garbage bag. So I was doing these hardcore routines because that's the stuff that I learned when I was younger and I was an athlete, I was a wrestler. So that was the type of stuff that we did to cut weight. So I would do things like that when I got older to try to lose the weight, because that's just what I thought I had to do. And I saw all these other people using fad diets, right? Well, I call them fad diets now, but using these diets and seeing results with them. And so I'm seeing people use, let's just say keto. So I'm seeing people use keto, and I'm seeing people use like whole foods, plant-based, and let's just even say the standard American diet. Okay, so I'm seeing people use all these different diets and getting results with them, right? Maybe you could relate. But I'm looking around, and that's what I see people doing. They're pretty much, I see people doing low carb diets, losing weight. I see people doing whole foods, plant-based, which is high in carbs, and they're losing weight too. And then I also saw people that were just pretty much eating crap and losing weight. And it didn't really make sense to me. So what my plan was I wanted to try keto because that was like a really big thing back in 2010-ish when I first really wanted to start losing weight. And I also did some intermittent fasting. And like I said, in this time period, I was doing the things like cardio with a garbage bag on. I wasn't really actually lifting or anything like that at this point. But I couldn't lose the weight and keep it off following this type of diet. What would happen was I would stick to it for about 5 days, 6 days. And then on the weekend, I would binge so much on the carbs because I was cutting my carbs all week. So, I find myself eating things that I don't even typically eat, but I found myself eating like a lot of sweets. And one time I actually ate so much sugar that I got sick to my stomach because I didn't have it for so long. So I couldn't actually keep the weight. I kept rebounding every few weeks and putting even more weight on. So what I did is I actually hired a coach, and this is what he said to me. So coach said, let's take a look at all these different types of diets, right? So if we look at keto, how are people losing weight on keto? Or if we look at the whole foods plant-based diet, why are people losing weight on the whole foods plant-based diet? Or if we look at the standard American diet, what do all these diets have in common? So what he told me, he was like, Nick, none of that stuff actually matters. This is what matters, right? If we look at all these different things, what do they have in common? So the number one thing is they all have different amounts of carbs and fats, right? But what they don't have different amounts of is calories and protein. So basically, he told me, Nick, if you go and you follow a diet you can actually stick to, meaning like you can eat the foods that you like, but if you stay within a certain amount of calories, and you don't have to count the calories, you can do things like template meal plans, he told me, or you could do like intuitive eating. There's a lot of different ways, But this is what matters. He said, Nick, just follow a certain amount of calories. Now, if you eat too little, you will not lose weight. You're going to shut your metabolism down. You're going to shut your hormones down. You're really going to ruin your progress if you eat too little, and then you'll end up having an even harder rebound. So that's what he told me. And then he told me, obviously if you eat too much, you're going to gain the fat. You're going to gain weight. So it's really about finding that sweet spot. That's what he told me. And the big thing was, he said, because I was in this restrictive mindset. I was really in a restrictive mindset because I didn't actually, all the stuff we see on the internet, even back then there was a lot of stuff on the internet, or like marketing and the bodybuilding forums. That's where I was. That's actually where I found my coach. And he said, you have to stop saying that you can't have stuff. Because when you have that restrictive mindset and you say, I can't have French fries, or I can't have potatoes, or I can't have this thing that I want, it makes you want it more. And there's actually studies out there that prove it. So instead of saying I can't have it, it's really switching the mindset to I don't want it. So when you say things like, I just don't want it, it gives you control back. It gives you the power back. Even if you do want it, you can make it fit in here, but you have to be, in that sweet spot. If you're not in that sweet spot, I would find myself just either super sluggish, having no energy, and rebounding, or, obviously gaining weight. So that's what he told me. And then I ended up losing 75 pounds in 4 months. For the last 10 years, I've gotten in better shape every year for the last 10 years, using goal-specific nutrition, using what he taught me about why do all these diets get results, and how can I stop following these restrictive diets. So the moral of the story is, you have to find a type of eating that you can actually sustain for the next 5, 10, 15, or 20 years. Because if you can't lose the weight in the way that you want to eat, what that means is you can't keep the weight off. Maybe you've been through a situation like that yourself. I've been through a lot of them too. So that's really the biggest thing, is if you can't get to your goal eating the way that you want to, you're not going to keep the weight off. It's really that simple. So if you got value out of this video, just give me a hashtag value down below, and go and click the link in my bio. Watch my web class. It's completely free. How to transform your vegan body for life without food restrictions or lifestyle changes. It's going to go a lot deeper on this subject. So hopefully I'll see you there. Have a great day, everybody.